We want to welcome all the media members here for our post-fight press conference from Michelob Ultra Arena. Premier Boxing Champions brought an exciting night of boxing that featured former champions and current champions that ended up getting back into the win column in impressive victories. Once again, it was all promoted by TGB Promotions and sponsored by DraftKings Sportsbook. It was an exciting night of action. And now we have one of current world champion Leo Santa Cruz with his father and head trainer Jose Santa Cruz as we are set to get going with our media. He had an impressive performance over Keenan Carbajal, a unanimous decision victory, clean sweep across the board, 100-90, all three judges' scorecards. He looked exciting. It was great to see Leo back into the ring. He was out for 15 months. And after suffering his defeat to Gervonta Tank Davis, he felt great coming into this fight. He was excited. He felt rejuvenated after the break, and he's looking to have a big 2022. And he started off right with unanimous decision victory. So we'll turn things over to Leo Santa Cruz, say a few words, and then all media members. We have our mics, so we have Martin right here. So just please raise your hand and ask your questions to Leo or his father, and we'll get going. So first off, we'll turn things over to Leo. Leo, impressive performance. What did you think about your performance tonight?
Thank you very much. The truth, I'm not that happy with my performance. I think that I could have done it better, but, you know, I'm going to go in the gym, train harder, and hopefully in my next fight, I'm going to come and, you know, work on the things I did wrong, and my next fight, I'm going to come a lot better.
Bueno, conclusiones de usted, Cruz, señor Cruz Sr., cuéntenos un poco cómo se sintió.
¿Ande? Oh, ¿cómo te sentiste?
Bien.
No, pero diga.
Oh, bien. Good.
No está prendido.
Once again, media members, raise your hand
okay.
if you have a question. We'll get you a microphone.
Hey, Leo. Great to see you back in the ring tonight, man. Great to see you back in.
Thank you.
Do you think? Would you like that Mark Magsayo fight next? Should that be the fight next? And you know, he's a big 126. Why do you think you would come out on top of what would be a great fight?
I think because, you know, I have the Mexican spirit. You know, I come to fight, to leave everything in the ring. We're going to go in the gym, train hard, get stronger. And I think, you know, Magallanes is a great opponent. You know, he comes forward, throws a lot of punches, he don't run, he comes to fight. And, you know, in Mexico, Puerto Rico, Mexico and Philippines always a great fights, you know, like Pacquiao Marquez. So I think that's going to be the type of fight with Magallanes.
Leo, te saluda Ernesto Amador de nuevo por José, un placer, don José. Una pregunta para los dos. ¿Qué tanto les ilusiona este combate? Entiendo que quizá para ti no fue una gran actuación, pero no perdiste un round. Pero ¿qué tanto los ilusiona, don José y Leo, esta pelea para regresar a esos retos como con Gary Russell, Navarrete? A ver, los campeones de la 126 y por qué no pensar en la 130.
It was an almost perfect fight. How much hope, how much does it give you to dream about further challenges in the future, knowing that you fought an almost immaculate fight and like opponents like Navarrete and others could be in the horizon for you?
No, pues la verdad, para mí, yo estoy contento, de haber regresado, es lo que quería yo, regresar, hacer una pelea de preparación, estar bien, salir con el triunfo, y ya para la siguiente vamos a prepararlo mejor, ya vamos a estar acostumbrados a estar en el ring, y la verdad, pues estamos emocionados de volver y unificar, de defender el título, los rivales que vengan, estamos para las grandes, queremos volver al tope como estábamos antes, y la verdad, pues, que sea lo que sea.
The important thing is we got the win, we knocked the rust off, and now we are looking to unify and go after absolutely everybody. Doesn't matter who is next, whoever the opponent that may be next, they may come, and I'm going to be ready for whatever challenge comes my way.
Si nos puede contestar, don José, por favor, me encantaría. Usted es un hombre de retos. ¿Qué viene para ustedes?
Pues miren, esta pelea la hizo en 126 porque es el peso.
130 fue este.
¿En 130?
Ajá, sí. La que sigue la 126.
Ya ni sé.
Sí.
Ok, yo quiero que pelee en 126 porque es el peso de él. O sea, ya en 130, en 135 es demasiado la pegada que hay ahí para él. Él no tiene mucha pegada, entonces en 126 es su peso perfecto para seguir ganando peleas ahí.
ideally, I want him to stay at 126. 130, 135 is not his ideal weight, and I feel like he's right at home at 126, and I want him to remain there so he can go after the best challenges in this division. Next question.
Leo, you know, after what was a scary fight with Davis, it looked like you weren't hesitant, you weren't timid, you weren't worried about getting hit, and you got right back in there. Why is that when a lot of fighters, after they get a knockout, they're gun shy? Why wasn't that the case with you?
Because this is boxing, you know, we're here to fight. We're here to, you know, entertain the fans. And if we're going to get fear, we should just retire or something, you know. Like I say, instead of getting fear from Tank Davis fights, I got more confidence, you know. I got more confidence. I got more brave. I'm like, if I was able to, you know, stay there for a few rounds with Tank Davis, you know, I could take anybody. Because Davis is, you know, a great fighter, great puncher. And while it lasted, I was able to, you know, bang with him, do a good fight. So, you know, I think that's where I got the confidence. There's no fear. I'm still going to come to fight how I always fight.
Stephen KOR Sports. Congrats, Leo. It was good seeing you back in the ring, man.
Thank you.
The headbutt, and it seemed like it kept happening. I mean, the cut was pretty bad. How many stitches was it, and did it bother you during the fight?
It was bothering me a little bit. You know, the blood was going in my eye. Then when they put the Vaseline, it would go in my eye, and I'll see blurry. But with my glove, I'll take it away, and I was able to see for a little bit. But then again, you know, I didn't want the fight to get stopped. I wanted to continue fighting, and I did what I could. Thank you.
Leo, aquí a tu izquierda. Felicidades por el triunfo.
Gracias.
Dos preguntas. La primera, ¿cómo incidió el calor de la gente en tu actuación? Obviamente la gente estaba corriendo tu nombre y tú dices que estás listo para los mejores, pero un nombre, una pelea que tú quieras sí o sí.
Well, first of all, how did the fans motivate you to win the way you did and to fight the way you did? And second of all, if you could just give us a name, I know you're ready for everybody, but if you could just give us a name of who you have in mind for your upcoming next fight.
No, la verdad los fans siempre me motivan. Ellos son por la razón por la que yo vengo a pelear, a darlo todo. Cuando yo escucho sus gritos, su apoyo, esos son los que me motivan a mí. Como lo dije antes de esta pelea, después de Gervonta Davis, me quise retirar. Dije, amor, los fans ya no me van a querer volver a ver, pero los fans me apoyaron, me dijeron que siguiera peleando, que yo podía ser campeón otra vez, y pues la verdad ellos son los que siempre me motivan y vengo a pelear por ellos. Y la verdad, pues ahorita queremos unificar, defender la 126, y pues yo sé que mi papá quiere que me quede en la 126, pero si está la oportunidad, yo quiero seguir después en la 130, unificar, defender, o no quería no defender, buscar el título contra Oscar Valdez. Si me da la oportunidad, o que gane Shakur Stevenson o cualquier campeón en la 130, yo pienso que todavía puedo ahí.
First of all, the fans, they're everything to me. When I fought against Gervonta Davis, after I did, I thought about retiring. And the fans were the ones that were sending me messages, reaching out to me saying, hey, don't give up, keep going forward, you have a lot more to give. And I wouldn't be here without them. Their support was absolutely key tonight for me to feel the way I did. And as far as giving a name, I know that my dad wants me to stay at 126. Like I said, the goal is to unify, try to do my best there, and then if there is an opportunity against someone like Valdez or Shakur Stevenson, then I'm also up to that challenge. But we'll see what happens in the future. Next question? Who is up?
Any other questions? Leo, you were out of the ring for 15 months, and yet, you know, we talked about it. Even though you personally may not have been impressed by your performance and felt you could have done a lot better, cardio-wise, how did you feel? And it seemed, I mean, your punch output was up. You were starting right from the get-go, and you went 10 strong, hard rounds. So how did you feel physically, cardio-wise, even after being out of the ring for 15 months?
I feel good. You know, the cardio was good. The only thing is I wanted to throw more punches, but you know, I don't know what it was. I couldn't let my hands go like I wanted to, but I think next time I'm gonna get even better, and I'm gonna throw more punches and probably land them more stronger and more secure.
What did you think? I'm not sure if you've had a chance to watch, you know, Magsayo, who was the most recent performer winning the WBC belt. What did you think of his performance over Gary Russell Jr.? And how would you see a matchup between you two shaping up?
You know, I think Magallanes is a great fighter. You know, he's perfect. You know, he has good technique, great punches, power, everything. And, you know, I don't know if it was because Gary Russell's hand was injured or nothing, but he still looked good. I don't know what the difference was going to be if Russell would have been 100%. But, I don't take nothing away from Magallazo. He's a great fighter. And I think a fight against him will be really great. Both will be toe-to-toe. I think it'll be a great fight, between Mexico and Philippines.
Well, that's a fight that I'm sure we would all love to see as fight fans renew the Filipino-Mexican boxing rivalry. But first, enjoy this victory, Leo, with your family and your friends. Even though you may not have been impressed, it was impressive performance. You still dominated, unanimous decision victory over Keenan Carbajal. So enjoy this one, and we look forward to seeing you later on this year. As like you said, you want to unify. That's a lot of options for you, a lot of fights to be made, and we look forward to seeing who that opponent will be, but enjoying this one. Leo, Santa Cruz, WBA featherweight champion. He is coming away with a victory here from Michelob Ultra Arena, and now he will look to fight once again later on this year. Tremendous performance, unanimous decision victory. Once again, thank you, Leo.
No, thank you very much, and thank you to all the fans. Thank you.
All right, it appears we are now set to have our main event. I believe Keith Thurman is in the building now, ready to come up to stage. Keith, one-time Thurman, making his way to the stage after an impressive performance, beating Mario Barrios by unanimous decision. Judges' scorecards 117, 111, 118, 110, 118, 110. And now Keith Thurman makes his way to the stage. One-time former world champion, looking to get his belts back later this year. Yeah. As he takes a seat. Once again, raise your hand. We'll find you, ask a question for your media members. First, we'll turn things over to Keith Thurman to say a few words on your performance tonight. 2.5 years, people have been waiting for you to get back into the ring, and now we had it. You looked impressive, getting that unanimous decision victory. How did you feel?
I felt pretty good in there. I felt like after landing some big shots, I should have been able to have some follow-ups. But, I learned and I assess everything. I just used my craftiness in there. He was more poised than I thought. I thought he'd be a little bit eager. I was trying to get him to take chances. There was no holding. That was kind of interesting and nice. We both stayed on the outside. He had a great jab like we expected, and we just worked around it. I let him touch me a little bit, but not touch me a lot. I landed the bigger shots, and that was the game plan the whole time. I just want to thank everybody who came out and supported, everybody who bought the pay-per-view, everybody who supports Keith Thurman, and everything that I've done in my career. We're finally back. I'm looking forward to having a terrific 2022, and I just hope you guys enjoyed this show and look forward to more from your man, Keith One-Time Thurman.
Steven Cureño, KOR Sports, right here, Keith. Congratulations on a great fight. It was very entertaining. There were a couple of times you had him rocked. He, kind of a little stanky leg a little bit. Why couldn't you get the finish? Was he just kind of recuperated a little faster than you expected?
I'm going to be honest, man. I just need to get back to the killer. I think I've been a little too nice to my sparring partners, and just a little too nice to my past opponents. 12-round championship boxing is just that different level, and the last thing you want to do is try to get somebody out of there, fall short, and not have the gas for the later rounds. And I think that what I need to do, I'm good at my endurance in the ring. I'm good at my craftiness. I'm good at my movement. But I need that high-intensity interval training where pretty much I need to be doing sprints, things to where when I land a nice shot, I need to be able to rush, get back on that Mike Tyson, right? But see, we know Mike Tyson, some people say, was only a 4-round, 6-round fighter because he put so much energy in those early rounds trying to get those knockouts. So it's a double-edged sword, but I know the sports science and how to be crafty enough in boxing and it takes a different high interval training. There's one modality from my sports nutritionist of a form of training that I've never used up to this day, and I'm going to stop neglecting that because I think that's the one thing that I'm missing when it comes to finishing off these opponents. And I do believe that when I have that missing piece, that I can once again be at the top of this welterweight division.
Keith, congratulations on an impressive victory. You've been out the ring for a while, so
Raise your hand. Who's talking?
Dante's Boxing Nation by way of Aki TV.
Okay, it was the mask. I couldn't tell who was talking. Yeah.
How important was it for you to have an impressive outing due to the fact that you were out of the ring for a while?
Oh, it's definitely important, but I know my skills, my talents. I know that I'm world class, and I just wanted to show that, Barrios was definitely a game fighter. Him and his team prepared very well for this fight. They were very poised, way more poised than I thought the young fighter was going to be. I thought he was going to want to make a big statement. Obviously, they wanted to make a statement with being relaxed and maybe waiting for their opportunities. But, once when I realized he's waiting a lot, that gives me more opportunities. Reminded me of Danny Garcia. Danny was just waiting to counter. And my movement and my stutter steps and my feints, it throws off their timing. And, you think you know what it's going to be like to be in there with Keith Thurman. But once when I get moving to the left, to the right, back to the left, to the right, feint, jab, left hook, drop a few power shots, it's a little different, man. And I got him to hesitate, and it was easy for me to manipulate what I needed to do to win the rounds and be victorious tonight.
Keith Heidick from BoxingScene.com. Congratulations on your win. It looked like he affected you with a body shot in maybe the 8th round. Could you take us through that sequence and let us know how you felt with that?
It was weird, man. I ain't gonna lie. Backstage, I was sitting down, and I felt my body hurting with the cup. It was weird. I was like, "Ooh, you ain't gonna want to get touched there today, boy." I know everybody talks about me and body shots, yada yada yada, but maybe it has something to do with the weight pool. Maybe there's something going on. Maybe my liver is a little sensitive. I always try not to look at it like that. I'd like to say, if somebody lands a good shot, they land a good shot, and body shots are just different. But it is interesting. If I breathe deeply, I can still kind of just feel awkward in that body region. Like I said, I felt tenderness before I was even touched tonight. So that one shot definitely awakened a little sensation of discomfort and pain, but it wasn't the hardest that I've ever been hit. If he was able to step in a little bit more, dig a little bit deeper, he may have been able to put me down. A lot of people who landed good body shots almost put me down, but look, they still haven't put me down, bro. At the end of the day, they can't make it happen. So Pacquiao didn't do it, Mario didn't do it, and Luis Collazo didn't do it. Sean Porter didn't do it. Sean's wasn't that good. I backed up because it landed, and then he rushed me, and it looked bad on TV. I know it looked bad on TV, and the commentators jumped on I was hurt. I wasn't really hurt. But the other 3 body shots that I've taken that you guys seen on highlights, Keith Thurman was hurt. But that's what it means to be a world-class fighter. It's like Phil Ivey. We got a poker face up in that ring, and sometimes you can read a fighter. You can tell that he's hurt, but then that's when the true warrior spirit comes out, and we endure. And when I make it through the round, I sharpen up. Let them take that round if the judges think that was enough to win. Otherwise, we just get back into boxing and we get back to winning the fight.
Thanks for the honesty, Keith. I just wanted to ask you, moving forward, Terrence Crawford, when he was asked who he would want to fight, he has repeatedly mentioned you first, and he's obviously some free agent or whatever he is. What do you think about the possibility of making that fight as your next fight, and what do you think of the fight in general?
Well, the fact that he's a free agent should make things a little bit better. Working with Bob is not fun for a lot of fighters. At the end of the day, I'm not sure. You see what I'm wearing right now. You see what I'm representing. They've been asking me for a long time, where are you ranked, Keith Thurman? And I say, I don't know. one of the best fighters in the world. Who cares what rank they give me, what number they give me, what position they give me? You know, I do want to fight champions. I'm going to be looking forward to getting in the ring with a champion. I want an opportunity to get a world title again. So if that's the best opportunity, I'll take it. You know, I always love great fights. I love making exciting fights in the welterweight division. But like I said, you see what I'm representing right now. So this might be the ladder that I'm climbing. We know that Errol Spence, Udenis Ugas, none of these fights would have manifested if Keith Thurman didn't lose to Manny Pacquiao. So there was a shift in matchups once when I fell out of championship status. So I had the WBA, I had the WBC, I relinquished the WBC. Nobody beat me for the WBC world title, you know. So those belts I want back in my possession. I do like the fight with Terrence Crawford, but we'll just have to see what opens up, what really negotiates, how stubborn we get when it comes to what kind of split there is. You know, it's just business from here on out. I do like the fight, though. Thank you for the question.
Hey, Keith, what's up, man? Jim Greasehaber, Fight Vibe. We talked the other day at the press conference, we did our interview, about all the time off, 3 fights in 5 years, the surgeries, the stuff you went through mentally. Yeah. How good does it feel right now, man, to have been in there and move the way you moved, connect with your punches the way you did, and just to mentally know that you didn't lose anything, man. You're back to being you again. How's that feel?
Well, we felt pretty good in camp. You know, I was telling people, you know, you got to get the ring rust off in preparation, man. So I was moving and shaking and trying to groove and get my movement back. You know, you guys saw some of the story. I've been doing more yoga. Yoga is beneficial for inside and outside of the ring, but inside of the ring is bringing more mobility. At the age of 33, you know, a lot of y'all are older than me. Y'all know what your body's been through, and you're not even a high-performing athlete like me, right, who's suffered these injuries and gone through things. So at the end of the day, I know so much about sports science. For me not to implement it is just straight ignorance. So that's why I said there's one modality that I haven't done yet. I really need to jump on that. There's one other modality, to be honest, like high altitude training. I am debating about getting into that. So I just want to stay mobile, stay moving. I know I'm very crafty, and I think that's what's going to help me in the future of this welterweight division.
What about mentally? We talked about what you went through and how you overcame, but the mental toughness it takes to be an elite athlete is incredible anyway. But with everything you went through, can you talk about what that is for you to have this and to know when nobody else maybe around you is even thinking the same things you're thinking?
So I'll open up, man. And it was challenging even being here in Las Vegas. You know, Mario Barrios and me both were in a very interesting predicament this fight. We're both coming off of losses. How confident can a man feel knowing that he was stopped in his last fight, knowing that I lost in front of thousands and thousands of fans in my last fight? How much confidence can two warriors really bring into the ring? You know, if we're honest with ourselves, there's going to be that little voice that says, hey, you were just beaten. Hey, what happens if you can't do what you want to do, you know? And I heard that voice leading up to this week, you know, is Keith Thurman really back? You know, and I just said, look, man, you've been working hard. You've been moving well. You're very smart. You know, it was a marginal loss. There was no, it wasn't a real negative. Even though it was negative, even though I felt a lot of negative emotions afterwards, enough time has gone by. The lack of activity can be looked at as a negative too. But for me, I turned it into a positive because it's allowed me to mentally get over a lot of the BS, man, and tell that voice, you are a champion. You know, my new T-shirt right here, it says, be good. That's what we were today. It says, be great. That's what we will be tomorrow. This is be a champion, and that's in our near future. So this is what I'm manifesting. Today you saw a good Keith Thurman. You're going to see a great Keith Thurman, and you're going to see the champion once again.
Keith, over here. Mohammed Mubarak with the Electronic Urban Report. Excuse me. How does it feel? Does it feel real good to be back after the long layoff, to be back on stage and under the lights and with your hands in the air?
To be honest, it felt great from the moment we were waiting to walk out into the ring. Just seeing the fans, seeing their reaction, seeing all the anticipation, being the main event tonight, there was such a nostalgic feeling to the whole process. Like I said, from just being backstage with my team, it's been so long. Yet, Carlos, I haven't seen Carlos in so long. But when we get back together, this is family, man. This is just how we do it, and it just feels like a great blessing. So then we walked out into the ring, then we walk up into the ring. And I took the time, y'all saw me. I took the time before stepping in the ring. I took a look around. We're back, like you said, under the bright lights. I got in the ring. I felt the ring underneath me. I'm feeling the gloves in my hands, these small gloves. This is not a sparring match. This is a fight. And I had a formidable opponent across from me who trained very hard, very, very young, athletic individual. And it just felt great. Putting myself on the line once again, living this life of a world-class fighter as a warrior. And then even after the fight was over, we know we had a good performance. My team and I, we were confident that we walked away with the victory today. But even that final step of them holding my hand up in the air, because that didn't happen 2.5 years ago. So I tell people all the time, Keith one-time Thurman wears red, white, and blue, because I'm living my all-American dream. I started boxing at the age of 7, and I wasn't the best. I used to get beat up in the sport day after day after day after day, okay? When you're 7 years old, it's easy to get beat up. When you're 9 years old, it's easy to get beat up. When you're 10, 11, and 12 years old, it's easy to get beat up. Even when I was 14 years old, they would just put me in with Andre Berto to beat me up, So at the end of the day, Coach always can make a phone call. We can go to a gym and get me beat up, And I tell people all the time, I got my butt whooped, and now I have the right to kick ass. And it's just a beautiful thing to be living this dream of mine. I love the sport of boxing. I just love it inside and out. It's more than a fight. It's a very sweet science. I call it the beautifully brutal sport. We saw what happened to Mario today, his nose, his eyes, and everything he endured. I had to endure punches. We were trading. We were just real fighters in the ring. I really hope you guys enjoyed what happened tonight. It was a beautiful night of boxing, and I look forward to having more great fights. This is what Keith Thurman's about, creating exciting fights in the welterweight division today.
All right, final question.
And Keith, Sean Zattel, Fight Hype, great job tonight, man. You already touched on the Crawford fight. If Spence Ugas, is offered next, the winner of that fight, do you feel ready, good to go for that fight, or do you feel like one more fight in between then would be ideal, or let's do it?
Yeah, that's such a really good question. Because the fighter in me says, "Give it to me, let's go. I want to be champion. I want the winner." But there's a weird little technicality that happened, for some of those who read the article, that this was like a title eliminator to a title eliminator. I don't know the politics all the time, man. I'm just a performer. I do believe that I should be worthy of challenging any world champion at any given point in time, considering my resume and everything that has happened in my career. But it does feel very good to just be back. So if I have to take another fight and just keep, like I said, going from being good to being great to being a champion, then so be it. I'm so happy to be back. I want to do what I haven't done in the past 2.5 years. Keith Thurman does want to be an active fighter. So we have to go back, talk to our team, see what's brought to the table through the networks, through Al Heyman, and just go with the flow, man. I just really want to have a more active year. I want to have more performances for the fans. I want to have more performances for myself. But no matter what, if it happens this summer, if it happens back in November and December, Keith Thurman is on the road to being champion in the welterweight division once again.
Well, thank you so much, Keith. It was great to finally have you back after your 2.5-year layoff. And now you are looking forward to a very busy 2022. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up one more time for Keith one-time Thurman, victorious over Mario Barrios here from Mandalay Bay. And enjoy this victory, Keith. Don't think about any future opponents right now. Soak in this one a little bit, and then I'm sure we'll be hearing news later on down the line for your busy 2022.
Thank you very much. It's great to see you too again.
Keith one-time Thurman. And once again, we want to thank all the media members and all the fans that came on out here to Michelob Ultra Arena. That about does it for our post-fight press conference. It was an excellent night. Premier Boxing Champions. We're right back here February 26th from the Cosmo. Chris Colbert defending his title against Roger Gutierrez from the Cosmo. That will be live on Showtime. So until then, Premier Boxing Champions, we'll see you February 26th from the Cosmo. Thank you, everyone.